I believe you're live. I believe you're good.
Okay, we're getting started a little bit late. We had a board meeting that ran long. This is a meeting of the Facilities Committee. Today is December 12th, 2024. The time is now 8:04 p.m. We'll start out with introductions.
Lisa Raymond, Assistant Superintendent for Business.
Dennis Pugliese, Director of Facilities.
Steve Morton Powell, one of Woodland Middle High School.
David Warner, board member.
Chris Fallon, board member.
Tanya Mans, board member.
And on the Zoom, Fred,
Fred Seba, BBS Architects.
Katie,
Katie McGee, parent of a 10th grader.
Sarah,
Sarah Lazari, parent of a 1st and a 4th grader.
Megan,
Megan Hack, parent of a 2nd and a 4th grader.
thank you for your patience. Okay, second item on the agenda is project status. That's BBS Architects. Do we have, yes. Can you bring up the BBS report?
Yes. Let me share the screen.
Okay, Fred, can you lead us through this?
Sure. On the Woodlands Middle School, High School, that's security vestibule. So there's a new takeover agreement now. So the bonding company had brought in a contractor after the first one was no longer able to complete the project. Their contractor was no longer able to complete the project. So they have brought in a second contractor now. So that is being reviewed right now and approved by the bonding company and the school district. So we have requested a new project schedule to start that project back up again, but we have not received that as of yet.
And when do you expect to receive the schedule?
We have asked, your attorney has asked that question. We just have not gotten anything yet. So hopefully within the next week or so, we're hoping to get a schedule back from them.
Okay, thank you.
The administration building, we have the 20-year no dollar limit warranty is has been issued to the contractor, so we have that. We issued the final punch list to the contractor, and so right now we're trying to close that project out. So we're in the closeout phase on that. A lot of the capital phase ones are all pretty much in the same boat, where they are all substantially complete. The closeout of the general contractor is complete. We're trying to close out the mechanical on Highview, the electrical on Jackson, etc. But we're in good shape on those and trying to close all of those projects out. So that's great. The water main project and fire hydrant. So there is a vote scheduled for January 14th to use reserve money to fund that project. So as soon as that passes, hopefully, we will put that back out for rebid with the additional money in there. And we'll send a post-bid addendum up to the state education department just to let them know about the change in scope so that they understand what's happening on the job, just so that, there aren't any surprises later on. The tennis courts, we received the bids.
And I don't know if it's the right time to ask this question.
Sure.
And so Trustee Warner, let me know. So that project we split into a couple pieces.
Yes.
And then I was recently reminded that ages being, let's make up a number, which is bad to do, 4 to 5 years ago, let's say, maybe a little longer, when we did the work on the soccer field with the water main. What was it? I'm wondering if we have the history, not for tonight, but the history on the water main connection from, I'm blanking, the back door, the road in the back door.
Pinewood.
Thank you. To connect from there. Just because when we look at doing part 2 of the water main project, to understand the options, adding back in that old story that we haven't talked about in a long, long time. And I'm not remembering all the details, and so apologies if I'm confusing everyone, but I think trustee Warner knows what I'm talking about. And give clarity to it.
I'm remembering that we had a diagram of the existing situation before we went out and did all the studies, and it showed the new lawn.
Mhm,
Okay, so I know that that's been taken into consideration,
mhm.
so.
And we just don't know why there's not enough pressure in that line, from what, on my memory, which is probably faulty right now, says.
Okay,
So I just, what I'm asking for, I guess, is for the January meeting to have a little bit more background from the old story, to know why we're not connecting from there.
old story. Okay,
Okay, sorry, everyone, I know it's confusing what I'm asking. Okay.
okay. Other questions? Proceed.
And the scope that was determined there was we were in contact with the fire chief. And that's the scope that he specifically was looking for. He said those were his priorities. So that's why it got prioritized the way that it did. So the Woodlands Middle School, High School tennis courts, we received the bids on that. We sent letters of recommendation to the district for award at the 12/17 Board of Ed meeting. So good news is we were able to award ad alternate for the 4th tennis court. It was able to fit within the budget. So that's great news.
Yes.
Well,
Okay, go ahead.
well, no, it's a draft form right now.
The middle school, high school running track, again, bids received the same date on the 25th of November. We have issued the letter of recommendation to the school district on that as well, hopefully for award at the board meeting on the 17th. And we were able to fit the ad alternate for the long jump runway into that project as well. So that's good news too.
Sorry, David,
Go ahead.
related question, Ms. Raymond, because I've only seen the draft, skimmed it, we'll probably be discussing it later. We have the letter of recommendation to be voted on next week, but do we have the contract we don't have the contract from the contractor yet? Or is that step 2?
Yeah, that's step 2. That we haven't received everything that you have on there and that you'll have board docs is what we've received from Mike Messina.
Because we'll still need to vote on the actual contract, correct? Isn't it, because we usually vote on the contract and not the letter of recommendation. Okay, so what does?
Do you have the actual contract yet, Fred?
Yeah, once the award gets made, we'll prepare the contract in conjunction with your attorney.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Second, yeah.
So let's see, the roof replacement at the middle school, high school, again, bids received the same date on the 25th. We were able to send a letter of recommendation to the school district for award at the 17th board meeting as well. For the Highview Elementary partial window replacement, the contracts were executed as of December 3rd with Empire Window. And there was a question about the insurance. I don't know if that has been resolved yet. Lisa, do you know if that's been taken care of?
No, it has not.
Okay, so we're still waiting on that. So as soon as that gets resolved, we'll move ahead. If necessary, we can go to the second lowest bidder, who is Arrow Steel Window, who we've done a lot of work with and is a good contractor. So.
And Fred, I believe we are going with the second contractor because the first cannot get the insurance.
We are. All right. So it was an A rating, not an A plus rating or better. So technically they did not meet specifications. Okay. Good. So then shop drawings are in production now. Should take approximately 4 weeks. And then window fabrication, they're projecting 16 weeks after shop drawing approval. So that's 4 months. So hopefully we're on target for this summer for the Highview windows, which would be great.
Okay.
The district-wide energy performance contract, that work started this past summer. It's approximately 50% complete at this point. The structures for the new carport should be completed by the end of the year. We are going to be waiting on the switchgear for the carport. That is the longest lead item. So the anticipated completion for the energy performance contract is the 3rd quarter of 2025. The roof replacement at R.J. Bailey, the bids were received on the 25th as well, and we issued letters of recommendation to the district for award on the 17th. The science labs, we have to coordinate with the district on scheduling the bid dates. We are anticipating construction for the summer of 2025. So we do have SED approval. We're getting ready to bid that now. The roof replacement at Highview went up to SED on September 19th. SED right now, because it's a roof and it is architectural only, I think they're at maybe 12 to 14 weeks review time. So we should actually be seeing SED responses back within the next few weeks, I would say, prior to the end of the year. Same thing with the roof replacement at Jackson. So those should both be in very good shape for bidding early next year, award, and construction for next summer. And the Woodlands Science Lab renovations were in pre-design phase there only. So, we're talking about the January vote to use the 7.4 million in reserve money. If and when that passes, then we'll get started on the design work and send them up to SED.
Very good. Any questions from anyone? Seeing none. All right, at this point, we would normally move on. Let's see, we will move on to smaller projects, but before we do that, let's bring up the slideshow. So just go into the directory, hit the first picture you see, and we'll just proceed through with whatever we get. And Dennis, I want you to narrate this. Tell me what we're looking at.
We're looking at the solar array, the football parking lot at Woodlands High School, Middle School, before the structure was raised out of the ground. That's, yep, this is some of the footings and some of the electrical mechanical areas that you'll see. That's a footing form. That's the footing, and you see the structure starting to come out of the ground there. Those are the supports. There's that support the structure. As you go, you'll see the whole structure coming out of the ground for the carport. This is the auditorium at R.J. Bailey.
New carpet.
Yep, this is the, yep, that's the carpeting that was finished in Bailey and the seating. This is the structure, the carport, the structure itself. You saw the footings, now you see the beams and the structure itself. These are some of the electrical mechanical areas that you'll see, the underground conduits for all the electrical. More of the structure itself.
Oh, sorry. No, can I see? Let's see the little. Okay,
There's a football field in the
no, but I'm
distance,
looking at the,
so you can see
with
where
the
we
roof
are.
at the top.
Right, yep.
Can I zoom in?
Yeah, it's fine.
With those like spaces in between.
Yeah, those are just the structural steel supports. There's actually spaces. It looks like a pergola right now, but
Like it's not completely covered.
yeah, it's just on the angle that you see. It looks like it's solid, but it's there's
No.
spaces in between.
Those are the posts that they were going up.
Yeah, as that was during the construction before the structure was attached to it.
Can I just, and maybe this is a backward, we didn't. Like a lot of vegetation was not taken out. That was all on the existing open ground.
Yep,
that was
Correct,
there.
yeah, there was just some piles of lumber and some debris from over the years that was just pushed out of the way. But nothing was, pretty much virtually no land was disturbed,
Okay,
other than pushing some of the
there were some boulders.
wood and some rocks that were in the back corner of the
Okay, nothing dug up.
no. This is just a picture of the grounds, I guess.
Highview.
Yep.
Behind Highview.
This is some trench work.
Where?
The gas.
Oh.
This is for the gas line over at Highview on the back roadway there, I believe. Yeah, that's a better view of it now. You can see it better.
Oh.
That's the trench line for the gas, coming from the building down the roadway. These are the gas pipes that are installed against the building.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, well,
That's it.
it did, that's it, okay. All right, so now that we've seen the pictures, you can go through the list. So start with ECP.
ECP, there's nothing, no changes over at ECP. LF Jackson, the new boilers are running. We have occasional boiler lockouts. Resetting and making adjustments. Partial gas pipe installation on Woodlands is complete, as is the partial gas installation on Jackson itself after the meters. The EPC upgrades are 50% at Jackson. Highview, both boilers are running. Occasionally the boilers lock out, they're resetting and making adjustments. The bids came back, we talked about from the BBS report for the windows. We saw the pictures of the gas trench piping. RJ Bailing, the new gym wall pads have been approved for the designs on them. Weather stripping and insulation from the ECP is completed at Bailey. Woodlands, we talked about the report from the BBS regarding the security vestibule. The gas pipe installation is complete around the building after the meter at Woodlands. 98% of the EPC lighting is completed at Woodlands. Street light at the intersection of Wise Way remains out. We actually ordered material conduit and we actually started excavating the trench work. Weather permitting, we're fighting the weather and the rain, but we have the materials and we're starting to dig the trench to the light poles. Item 4, along the football field driveway, actually right now they're trenching and going down the roadway. That's a work in progress. After the trenching is done, we could revisit that. The mansion, we looked at the BBS report. We need to look at the cost of upgrading the plaque for the commemoration of the First American Ballet Theater. Trustee Warner had a company do that. We will probably want to do something more like bronze, something more substantial for the monument out there.
Right.
Bus garage, the repair work.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
I see authorized interior renovations with excess project funding, including the wallboard, wood framing, et cetera. Do we need to do pointing in any of those areas where that new interior renovation is happening? Wood framing, if this is.
Framing.
If we're doing wood framing, okay, hold on. Interior renovations with excess project funding include wallboard and wood framing. Does pointing need to be done in any of those areas?
Well,
So that it's
pointing,
not going to.
when you
I
do
know, on
pointing, that's on the
exterior,
brickwork
so-
on the exterior, yeah. There's no really pointing on the inside.
I know, I'm saying if it's leaking and it might leach through to the new interior, I'm just wondering, did we?
Oh, the outside of
Just-
the building
You wanna see if there's
itself,
out-
yeah, there's no, the water, the building is tight from the roof and the walls now, nothing is leaking inside.
We did any pointing that was necessary?
Correct.
Thank you for
Yep.
confirming. Okay, I'm sorry, tonight, my
Yep, and actually we
phrasing of my question
we
is
actually
extremely.
repaired some windows that were in marginal and they've been replaced also.
Okay,
So the building is watertight now. Let's see. Plaque.
Teacher center.
Teacher center, no changes. Bus garage, the repair work for the drainage seemed to work. We had a substantial rain the other day. And the water did not run across the sidewalk like it did. It didn't go into the building like it used to, so the drainage improvements. that we
which
did
means
are
when that freezes, there will be nothing there to pose a danger. That's fantastic.
Much better,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I was proud to report that it did the job and I guess we'll just leave the electrical vehicle charging for now.
We're gonna.
We're waiting funding.
I have I'm meeting with the grant writer and Frank. And if Royal Coach can join us, because there's a grant that we can do collaboratively, we're meeting actually tomorrow on it.
And what does that grant entail?
Charging stations and electric vehicles.
And is it a pilot program or is it
It's a grant.
full-fledged?
It's a
Okay,
grant.
in tandem, and I'm sure you know this, Ms. Raymond, but there are associations, the Association of Superintendents and the School Board Association, we're all advocating that that the charging infrastructure gets paid for
By the
by the
state.
state. So we're working on two fronts, so that we're not. Okay.
Processing, okay. And is it full-size buses or van-sized buses?
Both,
So in other words, the full fleet.
no. I don't believe we're gonna get,
We're not gonna.
we're not gonna get a full fleet out of a grant. It might be a couple buses, but
Okay.
if at all, if they give it to us. I don't know if they'll give it to us, but we're gonna apply for it.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, so that concludes the list of statuses. Any questions? Yes, Katie?
Hi. Yeah, Mr. Pugliese, I have a question. When one is facing the main entrance to the back of the building, the gym,
Okay,
there's plywood in one of those brown rectangular. It's usually like the rest of them are brown.
window
Um,
wall.
The
Yes.
one near the wall right before the gym doors. So it's been there a while. So I'm just wondering what's the plan for that?
Well, that's part of the building envelope, that the part of the building, around the building where the walls have been rusted, the winds got a hold of it one time and it blew the piece off, so we had to secure it so the animals wouldn't get in, and we put a piece of plywood for now.
What school is this?
Woodlands,
Okay.
down by the athletic
Why
circle.
don't we just paint it brown until we can replace it?
Yeah, I mean, we could paint it now, but we don't have anything to repair the
Yeah.
window without funding, no.
I see. So we can't replace that without a bigger project of building envelope.
It would probably be a waste of money because that whole wall needs to be replaced.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, I like the idea of painting it something so that it doesn't stand out as much. That'd be great.
Other questions? Okay. Moving on, bring up the agenda to sign, next page.
We need the architect in.
I think we're, okay, Fred, you can go if you want.
Okay.
Thank you. Jessica.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.
Good night.
Good night, Fred.
Bye-bye.
You too. Happy holidays.
Yes. Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Thank
you. You just came in? Or-
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're on to the Water Main and Science Lab project. The top bullets are a few agenda items telling us the history of how we came to be where we are. And basically, we have the money for the combined project, which includes all 9 science labs and part of the water main. And releasing the existing funds will have no effect on the tax levy, but we have to get permission to release the existing funds. So that's what the vote is for on January 14th. So now we're going to look, if you look at the bottom of the page, we have to publicize the vote to let people know that they need to vote on this. So we have the district website link from homepage, a web topic and an FAQ. So could you click on that button there, right there, that link?
Is that a new hand from Katie?
Katie, do you have a question?
No, sorry, I forgot to lower my hand.
So we'll show you what exists. There should be, well, you can't, yeah, you gotta move that. See where it says January 14th, 2025 vote? Click. Okay, so there you see the microscope standing for the science labs and the fire hydrant standing for the water lines. And the proposition vote tells, when the vote is and what it is, and generally high level description, click on project FAQ. Okay, so we have it in English and Spanish. What's the scope? How is the decision made to improve the science labs, but only part of the water mains? We'll have a second project later to deal with the water mains. Why is it necessary? Right, and then the financials, and then there's the yeah.
Sorry.
What's the cost of the project? What's the taxpayer impact? So it's a $9 million total project. We've already got $800,000 that doesn't need to come out of this particular account. It needs to be moved. And so you add that together with the $8,200 and you come up with 9 million. And the impact on the taxpayers is nothing. How do we fund the project? It explains where the funding came from. Can you further explain what the capital reserve funding is, how it's used? Talks about that. Management process, scroll. Right, so we're working with BBS architects, with the timeline for proposed work, so we'll get it done in 9 to 12 months. What happens if the proposition is not passed? You know, we'll have to figure out what to do next. How long will the district communicate? Yeah, yes.
Sorry, expected to begin in summer 2026.
With
After
NYSED, the
approval.
district will accept the bids for this project and work is expected to begin by summer of 2026.
And then take a year or a year from when this whole thing starts. Approval and all that.
Yeah,
I think it's the whole thing, right? I don't know.
it's the whole.
Okay,
Okay, so part of the project has already been approved
right.
by NYSED, the water main
Water.
portion of the project. So it can go forward much more quickly once we release the funds.
Gotcha.
The second half, the science labs, we have to do some pre-design work, right? We have pictures, but not detailed pictures. And then we have to submit that to NYSED. And so I don't think we want it to, you know, completely lag and not do anything to the water mains until we're done with this. So, right.
Gotcha. So the NYSED approval will take 9 to 12 months. So that's why the science labs won't begin until summer of 2026 and hopefully. Get
Well,
done
they won't
quickly
begin
during that
until the
summer.
summer of 2026 because if all 9 can't be done at the same time. They have to be done over.
Gotcha. Okay.
It will take time.
Yep.
How will the district communicate about the vote? Well, this is what we're doing. Where is the vote being held? The vote is January 14th from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. at the Woodlands Middle High School Gymnasium. And you can request absentee ballots or early mail-in ballots. And I believe you contact the district clerk.
December 15th, which is Monday.
Okay, and then we have the whole thing in Spanish. You know, it'd be good.
Hold on, sorry, can you go back? Does it say district clerk at Greenburgh CSD anywhere in that paragraph? Can we put in the email, sorry, can we put in the email address district clerk at Greenburgh CSD in that paragraph as applicable, contact the district clerk thing?
Hello, that was supposed to be. Oh, wow.
Sorry, it's a suggestion.
Yes.
And FAQ,
It's already done. I'll have to ask Miguel to amend it.
district clerk. CSG, yeah, okay. Email,
The generic one.
right? And I think it would be good, can we put a button at the top so that, I mean, you scroll through 10 pages before you see that it's in Spanish, right? So can we just put a button there that will skip us down to the bottom of the topic or put it in a separate topic and click Spanish?
Haga clic aquí para español, para versión español. Haga clic.
You're gonna have to ask Lisa about that.
To Espanol. Okay.
Trustee Valen, district clerk at Greenburgh CSD.org.
Yes.
They have to physically mail, they have to physically come in with the ballot for that.
And then let's look at the,
And not someone like a moment.
Trustee Warner?
Yes,
I think trustee Vance is asking a good question.
Johnny?
Yes, if you fill out the absentee ballot, you have to physically come here to drop it off with the district clerk? Or
No, you can mail
back?
it.
You can mail it.
Email
It's
back.
gotta be, but
Yeah,
they
receive.
pick it up by 5 p.m.
Yeah,
that
receive it.
day from the post office. If it's received after that, it's.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
click on Facebook.
Okay.
Just so we can see.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work from here?
Hmm,
That's
Well, are we
all
blocked?
No, it's working.
Is it the firewall?
No. It was a little funky with the screen sharing, so.
Okay.
Sarah Lazari has her hand raised.
Yes, Sarah.
Hi, I just wanted to ask if you had thought about putting an FAQ about something like, I've heard there's lots of projects going on at GCSD. How are you able to handle all of them?
Projects. Okay. And you talk about who manages the project.
I hate this.
Them. What?
Well.
Oh, we have to
you used
log
be
in?
able
You have to log
You
in.
used to be able to scroll to publicly, to a
Okay,
public entity, and now you can't,
right.
for us non-members.
Can we get?
There gotta be complaints on here. I don't think I have it.
Okay, so now we're looking for an ad.
Jessica Muldoon has a question.
Jessica Muldoon, go ahead.
Hi, I just wanted to ask, are there any opportunities for the public to come see the science labs prior to the vote? I know for me, actually seeing them made a huge difference. And anyway, I've been talking to, I've been kind of saying what I saw when I was there. So I didn't know if there would be any like open houses or opportunities for a public tour or opportunities for the teachers to talk to the public.
So if we talk to the principal and the science teachers and try and find an open house, say in January.
The vote's on the 14th, right?
The vote's on the 14th, so we have to have it.
How about the night of the board meeting?
That's what I was
First
just
board
looking to
meeting,
see
Jeff,
what's going on.
whatever that
We have a
is.
board meeting on the 7th.
I think even just having an opportunity where that could be publicized, that people could come in, your turnout again, it might be low, it might be high, but I think even having that opportunity to come in and see the space,
Right. And if we
might
can-
just kind of let
if-
people see why this is an urgent item.
Another suggestion, we have a board meeting on the 7th. There's a CEC committee meeting on the Monday. I don't know if you already have it scheduled anywhere in particular. Monday the 6th.
I think the next,
I've never back here, we just did. it.
community engagement committee is the 6th. It was at Lee F. Jackson, but I can change it.
You just throwing those two options out there. You have the Monday CEC, you have the Tuesday
Or-
before a board meeting. But I don't know who else you might be asking, or if you're just gonna have a board escorted walkthrough, so. I don't know if there's other suggestions out there for
Right, I
for
don't
things
know.
that are already on the
I
calendar.
don't know if we're gonna escort the board or we'll see what kind of time we have.
Right, no, I'm just
Well,
saying, we can't.
I know, you're the vice president of the board, I understand.
And I don't wanna like commit any other administrators or other.
Right, so we give them options as to when they're available and we work from there.
Okay.
Okay, so we will ask. Good. Okay, so we're looking here for some kind of posting.
I can't go
about-
too far.
Yeah, all right, let's see if it got buried. How quickly did it get buried?
Did it, was it there? Cause why is there no picture of it there on the, cause it's not a photo, I guess.
I can't,
Well, no, we have the logo, we have the triangle and the kids,
Yeah,
right?
so.
So let's see, can we find it?
It's there, it's from December 3rd, it's there.
December 3rd.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So maybe we can pin it on top of this page so we can just stay.
Yeah. Oh, there, okay, I think I saw
Yeah,
it.
keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going,
We
keep
don't
going.
have a Facebook
You get-
expert of the committee.
I'm working.
In the Facebook topic. Okay,
They want to also include the hot tail group. There's a page, a hot tail page on Facebook that all the community goes to.
Friends of Greenburgh? That one's thing? Friends of Greenburgh?
No, not Friends of Greenburgh, the hot tail group. It's
Oh.
a hot tail, family group or something.
group,
Yeah, like
Okay.
you can tag them in here, you can tag, yeah, you can tag people in the groups.
and
There's ways to do
Bill.
this.
Do we have a neighborhood association list that we can mail things to, like a link? Just to tell people about this?
Yeah.
Other civic associations. Okay. All right, so, let's see, what's the second most popular social media platform?
Whatever goes on Facebook should go to Instagram.
All right, look at Instagram.
It's there, I saw it one day.
We blocked from this.
I don't think you can get Instagram on.
There we go, okay.
Firewall's working.
Make a,
It's great.
I need a Facebook account for this.
Yeah, okay. All right, we're not gonna, still on 9, okay.
But it's there for you all to share.
Right? Okay, so we got social media posts, bottom of page 1, fall edition of Falconer. I believe there's a picture that we have in our.
Oh, hold on. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, click that. Okay, scroll down. And see that red thing? Save the date, GSCSD proposition vote, January 14th, 2025. And voters will consider an $8.2 million from the district's capital reserve to renovate all science labs and upgrade a portion of the water mains. On the Woodlands property, the project will have no impact on taxpayers. Find more information at www.greenburgh.com, right, January 14th vote. Okay, and
Or just do the QR code.
yeah, so good. That's gone to all district households where we're supposed to be watching to make sure that we favor sources that anybody can see, not just that the school population can see, right? So so this is one of the ways of covering it. So that's gone to every district household. Good. There's a postcard. Here, go look at the postcard. Another picture. Okay. And the rule of thumb is you're supposed to, people should get sick of hearing about this thing. So you try and, 3 contacts and you reach a point at which you go, oh yeah, maybe I should do something about this, right? So that's what the postcard looks like. So when will this go out? I know that you went.
I know it's at the printer. The check, I believe, is being dropped off, for the mailing is being dropped off tomorrow, so it should go out next week.
Next week.
Okay,
I
before
believe so.
Christmas. Hmm,
Well, that's right.
is it, what, is it too soon, right?
Or is it gonna get lost in?
It's going first class.
Okay. Before Christmas. Okay, and lawn signs will be delivered Friday.
Nope, I am picking them up tomorrow on my way home. They will be put out on Monday.
On Monday.
If we wanted to put a lawn sign up, could we get one from you, or do you have a certain places you're putting them?
If you have a suggestion of where to put them, we're putting them at every school. Up and down Pat Capone Road, we're gonna put one over at High Point entrance. If anybody has any recommendations, I only ordered a certain amount, so there's not an excess of them, but if you have any recommendations, we're more than happy to take those.
Okay,
Maybe in front of the CSEA building.
If we.
yeah,
if we-
library's good.
If we can. It's not our property.
Okay, flyers and posters, so if I wanted to go print out a flyer.
We printed out, every school has been given the flyer to print out, have available for people coming in and out. We've asked the principals to include it in their weekly messages, send it home with the students. Mr. Smith had 150 printed for last night for the winter concert. I had posters made. There are 4 posters in this building and 2 posters in every other building, 1 at ECP Maine.
Tracy announced the vote on the 14th. And of course, the winter concert gets posted on channel 77. So therefore her announcement will go out to everybody
Well,
else.
and there will be a video on our channel. Dr. Iverson and I are doing that. Luke, do you know, is that next week? She and I are videotaping that? I think it might be next week we're videotaping that.
Yeah. Yes, that's what you said earlier. Okay, good. Okay, so I think that's what we're doing so far. Does anyone have any suggestions for going above and beyond that? I've said that we should contact, yes.
Are you guys gonna send, those automated phone calls, reminding
Yes,
people? You
school
always do that?
messenger.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Is it targeted?
Right.
Yeah,
It's just reminding that there is a vote, not just, it'll be very generic.
Okay, all right, because the 14th is a Tuesday, the day before that is MLK Day, I think, right? Something wacky going on.
It's the following week.
I don't know.
Yeah, MLK's the 20th.
Oh, okay.
okay. All right, yes, Jessica.
I just want to add, I'm gonna follow up with PTA council, to make sure that information's getting out to all the units. So if anyone who has a meeting before then, they can present on it, or at least make sure that they're sharing out the information also.
I can confirm it was discussed at this week's Woodlands Middle High School PTA meeting.
Okay.
And the principal's coffee. I know there's
another one coming up with
Tomorrow.
Bailey, I think.
Tomorrow's Bailey.
Yeah.
the parent will bring it up.
I don't know.
Steve, did it happen?
What's that?
Was there an announcement of this at the last PTA meeting?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just, sorry, I stole your thunder.
I was thinking of places where I could put that.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Mr. Martin
okay.
made sure it was discussed and Mr. Smith made sure it was discussed in his conversation.
Okay, good.
I forget about the order of things.
Any other? Okay, then moving on. Of course, we're continuing to look for funding for the science labs. An application for aid was sent, is that correct?
Now, an application, the first process is to send a letter to Regeneron, and I sent the letter from Dr. Iverson and one from Assemblywoman Shimsky. I believe I sent that on November 25th.
Shimsky. Okay, Shimsky didn't follow through, good. Okay, and then we're looking for places other than Regeneron to also possibly be contributors. And Adonia Mans did some research on that. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, no, so some places that came to mind that were local was the New York Medical College. Claripath, that's another biotech company in Saginaw. I was reading about other schools in other states that had funding provided by their electrical companies, so Con Ed came to mind. PepsiCo is local, Coca-Cola, there's a bottling facility, I believe in Elmsford, and then Mavis is actually new to our district, they're right there across from Town Hall. So those are some avenues to tap into. It was also suggested maybe we start having conversations with Andrea Stewart Cousins potentially to see if there's any funding available there, so. That's what I came up with.
Usually if Assemblywoman Shimsky, if the assembly person gives us money, the senator comes along and matches it. That's what happened last time.
Okay,
Can she double it? Cause I mean.
She
we got some
can,
big
but
numbers.
they always
Okay.
tell us that they have to spread their money out amongst all of their constituents. But that's what happened when former Assemblyman Abenante gave us 500,000. She then asked for a meeting and says, well, I'll match his.
Fabulous. So let's see what happens.
Good,
Is she
good.
aware of what we're doing now? Like, I'm
I think
just
she
curious to
knows.
know. Okay, all right.
Yeah, we have.
is she
conversation.
toured? Right,
No, Andrea's still present. No.
no, I mean,
Shimsky, yes. Okay,
right,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
then the match, right,
all right.
okay. Good. So, what are our next steps now that we've identified these places? How do we go about contacting? Is there a standard letter?
These,
Yeah,
we could take the letter and modify it. I just, we'd have to do some research. I don't even know where to begin to send any of these, so. I mean, Senator Stewart Cousins, that's
that's
easy.
easy, right?
But the New York Medical College, Con Edison, PepsiCo, I have to research.
Okay,
And I do have our grant writers looking. I did find a couple, but you know, we didn't follow time. So we have been looking that avenue way also for grants that could help us.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. I was also reading like some of the schools too, they're like STEAM focused, they have STEAM initiatives. I don't know how in depth we are here with that. But that was
We
another.
could be
copy.
really in depth with it if we had science labs.
I know, that's what I'm saying, that's all I know. So what's their way connected?
we had a STEAM director for a while, but there were budget cuts.
Gotcha, okay.
All right, Katie?
Yeah, I think these are in the minutes from last meeting, but maybe to add them to this list so it doesn't get lost. But I had wondered, I think Steve and I had talked about what about like Montefiore and Siemens was another biotech. I think that's in the county.
Yeah, there was something with a B, I think you guys had.
Let's look BASF.
Yeah.
Let's look at the minutes
That too.
a moment and see if we happen to record it. Could you bring up the minutes?
I will. The minutes.
Yeah, and I think. Yeah, it's on the very last page of the minutes. Oh, that's it.
Do you want me to skip to the, I'll just go.
Yeah, go to the end, I think. Yeah, committee members suggested that in addition to continue our efforts to gain science lab funding from Regeneron, we compile a list of. A list.
Can you tell me what BASF stands for?
With a film company, but it.
If I just did BASF, would it
Yeah,
come up?
yeah, and that led up into a company.
Okay.
Siemens and Montefiore. Okay, good. As long as we're here, go to the top. Let's scroll through this quickly. Take a look at the list of attendees, see if anything's misspelled. Okay. I don't see anything, and scroll slowly through. So we have Ray Maceda came and talked to us, and we went over our options, what we recommend to the board for how the January 14th project would go. And we did project status, and then the third page, you know, we took the BVS report, pasted it into the minutes, and then we looked at the BS, Siemens and Montefiore. Okay, is it? We compiled a list. So I think I'm gonna change in the last sentence, I'll say we compiled a list of other potential science lab donors. So there's a wording change.
That we approve the minutes as amended.
That's amended. Do you have any other changes? Anybody? Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Passed. Amended. Okay. Which carries us through to safety responsibilities. Dennis Pugliese, talk to us about asbestos and safety data sheets.
For our charges, the committee is required to fulfill the building safety responsibilities, the asbestos for HERA legislation. Each school building is required to maintain records in each school building. They're kept in the principal's offices. All the offices have them. And there's also MSDS sheets, material safety data sheets. Tells you about what the good chemicals are, how, what are the repercussions of the health and safety aspects of it, and then for the fire department, how dangerous they are. Those are kept in the custodian's offices in our school buildings. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, and I think we're required to let parent groups and employee groups know that, the asbestos management report is available in the principal's. Hey, parent group, head of a parent group, you have been informed.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how do the employee groups find out?
We have a training every, that's part of our CBE days, that we have training and that's part of our program. For the new employees, and there's a refresher, these are material safety data sheets that keep part as the employees change, or just a refresher. This is our procedures, this is where they're located, and this is, if you're not sure about something, we have every chemical that we have in the school district, there's a book. And we keep that.
All right, good, thank you. All right, so now, that exhausts what's in my agenda. Are there other concerns that people want to raise? Katie?
Could you give a recap from the finance meeting yesterday? The part that relates to facilities, what the finance committee is going to bring to the larger board about the money that we got back from the American Rescue Plan?
Sure, you wanna do that, 1.6 million, you wanna do it?
Oh, sure,
Go ahead.
So, as everyone knows, when we were awarded the money from the American Rescue Plan during the COVID years, if you remember, it was a 3-part. That was the very last part of all of the funding money. We got over $2 million in total. $1.625 million we designated for ventilation that would help with phase 1. We have finally received those funds and they are sitting in the capital fund. We will put that into the capital fund NILAF account, which is our New York Liquid Asset Fund account, which is similar to a money market account, so it earns some interest. And then the Board of Education, or there are 2 avenues that can be done with this money. As you remember, any money that is in the capital fund, the taxpayers need to know what that money is being used for. So there's 2 options. You can either put the money right into the capital reserve, and that would be by resolution of the Board of Education at a meeting, by a motion, by resolution. Or you could either bring, if you want to use that money for something specifically, as for example, some small projects to finish, to do anything else that is in the building condition survey, you could bring that then back to the general fund, which is what you'd have to do. And then you would reallocate that back to the capital fund for specific things. For example, like during the budget cycle, if you remember, we did capital fund transfer to do the Woodlands Middle High School gymnasium, the Artie Bailey gymnasium, bathrooms, things like that.
And I think that making a recommendation as to what kind of project, be it the remainder of the water mains or otherwise, should perhaps come out of this committee, and we should do it next month. What do you think?
Yes,
I agree. I think
Sounds
we
good.
should think about it.
Yeah.
and when we discuss
Marinate
this
on it.
next month,
And think about it. And
we're gonna
discuss
think
next
about
week.
it. And when we think about it and discuss it, hopefully we have information. It'll be the very, very, very barely beginning of the budget process. With the board's involvement. I know you're actively meeting now with administration. Where am I going with this?
You're
That's what
about
I was
to
gonna
advertise
add.
people to come to the finance committee meeting,
And
because you're,
Because I will wanna know using this money or building that project into the budget to know the.
correct, yes,
Why,
yes, yes.
and I'll say why. Why? Because we do have at least 3 very, very pricey projects, including the building envelopes, which we know is $10-20 million. And if we get big chunks of money that we can sock away towards those bigger projects and do the smaller projects as part of the budget process, I will be interested to hear that information as part of this discussion and decision making.
okay,
Well, and I would be more than happy to report that during the budget process, but I guess that would be the recommendation of the superintendent, what should be part of the capital fund transfer, or is it a recommendation of the facilities committee to, or the recommendation of the board? I mean, I know Dr. Iverson keeps up to date on these minutes and et cetera, so she does know what priorities are, so, I mean, and that's what we've done in the past, we've made a recommendation, so yeah.
It's a matter of balancing shorter term possible
Yeah.
projects while still moving towards those big money
Correct.
projects.
Correct, yep.
And balancing those from my one person perspective.
yes.
Sorry. So just to prep for what information I may want to know as a Greenburgh discussion.
Get on it now, Lisa, got it.
Sure, and of course, we have a list
Yes.
of projects, and we'll resurrect the list and we'll look at it again.
And to Ms. Raymond's point, administration will be talking about their own list if there's things we don't know about currently.
Okay, and let's see, where's this is,
There's one thing I'm looking up before we move to adjourn, and I'm trying to find it, but it goes back to the asbestos thing. I think there's something about like a triennial report. I know I asked about
Correct,
this a
yeah,
year or
every
2
3 years, yeah,
ago.
we're doing 25, which is.
24, okay, that's,
You're 25, I mean, by the end of,
25, 26.
technically by the end of the school year, we wanna do it.
okay, so
So,
that's next year.
yes.
Gotcha.
okay. Does anyone have any other topics they wish to bring up?
No.
All right, yes, I know, it's 9 o'clock because we started an hour late. Okay,
Okay.
okay,
But I
do I remove a motion to adjourn?
Adjourn the meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Have a wonderful
Night,
holiday.
everybody. Yeah, happy holidays. See you next
Happy
year.
holidays.